On Newswatch 18, we take you inside the Veterans Day dedication of the Gold Star Hall in the Memorial Union.
One Iowa State group is promoting sustainability by running. See what the ISU Run Beyond Coal is all about.
And one Iowa State group is holding a winter clothing drive. Find out how you can help families in the Ames area this holiday season. Good evening and thanks for joining us this Veterans Day for Newswatch. I'm Natalie Froistad.
And I'm Emily Bloomquist.
4 men. One is buried in a cemetery near a battlefield in France. The other 3 are still missing in action. 4 men involved in what is unquestionably our nation's greatest challenges of the 20th century. 4 men who heard the calling and answered with a solemn oath. 4 men who said yes. Yes, send me.
People attended the Gold Star Hall ceremony this afternoon in the Great Hall. The ceremony paid tribute to fallen soldiers, veterans, and all servicemen and women. But the focus was on 4 soldiers whose names were recently installed on the walls of Gold Star Hall. John H. Woodward, Russell M. Vifquain Jr., Charles T. Hopper, and Delbert R. Peterson served in all the major conflicts in the 20th century. And after his death, Woodward was buried in France, but the other 3 Iowa State students are still missing in action. The addition of these 4 names brings the tally of names in Gold Star Hall to 575.
The shoes hit the pavement today in a run beyond coal. The 5K race, organized by Active Us and the ISU Running Club, started fittingly in the parking lot between the power plant and the Lead Recreation Center. Participants showed their support for clean and renewable energy alternatives as they ran the route lined with paper windmills. Around 60 people turned out, and some of the fastest finished in about 15 minutes.
Iowa State student group Student Volunteer Services, or SVS, are trying to give some warmth to the Ames area, one scarf at a time.
Give some warmth, and we are donating hats, mittens, scarves, gently used coats, winter wear for nonprofit organizations in Ames.
Students can drop off their new or gently used winter clothing items at various boxes across campus. SVS is looking for a variety of items and would like to remind students that items can range in size from child to adult. All items will be donated to organizations in the Ames area. Tune in next Tuesday for an update on this event. Ex-CEO of Xerox, Anne Mulcahy, will give the Smith Lecture for the Catt Center for Women and Politics on November 17th at 7:30 p.m. in the sunroom of the Memorial Union. Her lecture, Leadership, the Art of Developing Followership, will be about what Mrs. Mulcahy has learned from her previous position at Xerox. Anne is recognized as a leader and advocate for women in the business world and now works for the nonprofit organization Save the Children. The lecture is free and open to the public.
So Liz, I heard there's a rumor of rain coming. Is that true?
Yeah, sadly, I know some people don't like rain necessarily, but being how dry it's been these last couple days, that'll definitely be a nice change. And if we could look at the day planner really quick, we can see that by midnight tonight is about when the rain is supposed to start. Temperature will be around 42 degrees, and by 8 a.m. the temperature will only have dropped a few degrees to get down to a low of around 38 or 39. So definitely over the next couple days, as it stays rainy, temperatures won't change very much, which could be a good thing, and it'll definitely bring us some relief in terms of dry weather. Stay tuned after the break for your weekend forecast.
You know, recently a woman wrote me to say nobody cares what happens to her money. Well, that's just not true. For 75 years, the FDIC has protected the money you deposit in banks. Those depositors have never lost 1 penny in the history of the FDIC. So here's the bottom line. You just can't put your money in the bank and not know how FDIC insurance works. You have got to make sure your money is 100% protected. So I want you to go to myfdicinsurance.gov and click on Edie the Estimator. In just a few simple steps, Edie lets you know if all your money is safe and sound. If I were you, I would want to know that. Who cares more about your money than you, me, and the FDIC?
Susie's right. Visit myfdicinsurance.gov and use Edie the Estimator, because the more you know, the safer your money.
Thank you for giving me blood.
Thank you for giving me shelter.
Thank you for saving my life.
Support the Red Cross and change a life, starting with your own.
Welcome back to Newswatch. We're going to take a look at your Iowa forecast really quick. Right now we're sitting at about 47 degrees, so definitely a much cooler day today than it has been the last few days. I know we've had some really unseasonably warm temperatures. You can see 48 in Fort Dodge, 46 in Sheridan, so pretty much mid-40s for most of the area. And this is pretty much going to continue throughout the state. 39 up in Mason City, so you can see some cooler temperatures working their way into the state. 48 in Sioux City, 52 in Council Bluffs. So definitely much colder than it has been. And you can even see some showers starting, but we'll take a look at that in a minute. If we look at low temperatures for today, 25 degrees in Mason City, 35 in Des Moines. Ames, I think, got down to about 27, so definitely a much chillier morning. Had to probably get out those ice picks to get the frost off your car this morning. 56 in Des Moines for the high, 54 in Mason City, so again, not very high temperatures. If we look at forecast rain and clouds, you can see we're expected to see a lot of rain, pretty much continuing throughout the day tomorrow. And if we could actually switch over to radar really quick, you can see some of the storms starting to build their way out west. And there's even some storms out east already that are going to start dumping rain over Iowa. And eventually that's pretty much going to take over the state. So if we could go back to graphics really quick, you can see again pretty much that just kind of like blows up over the state. So we're going to get a lot of rain tomorrow, expecting values of around an inch of rain total. Tonight we're expected to see about half an inch of rain, a low of only around 38 degrees, so not very much of a temperature drop. And as we go into tomorrow, again, wet and windy. You can see the wind gets up to about 10 to 15 miles an hour, 45 degrees. So again, not very much of a temperature change, which might be nice because then you know you have to wear a sweater all day. And that's going to continue into this weekend. But by Sunday, we should see mostly cloudy skies. And you can see pretty much mid-40s for the rest of the week, into the weekend, and even into next week. But we should be seeing some higher temperatures Tuesday with a high of around 49. And I'll go back to the desk.
Thank you, Liz. And usually visiting museums and checking out expensive electronics can take a good chunk out of your wallet. Well, on Open Lab Night at the School of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Iowa State students can walk among robots and learn about the new technology firsthand.
And guess what? It's free. David Durang and Chris Cuellar explain.
The School of Electrical and Computer Engineering hosts Open Lab Nights once a semester, and Wednesday night it was hosted to 150 curious students and engineers in Coover Hall. Vicki Thorland-Oster is the Student Services Manager for the school and helps students make better choices about their engineering futures.
What we do is we include the students who are our first year students, and so they can get in, see what the labs are, see what the research is that's being done in the university or in our department.
Students are able to tour the facility, browsing different possible departments and opportunities that professors and grad students have set up to discover what they might be interested in electrical and computer engineering. The Open Lab Nights also serve as an exhibit for the ECPE school, and 11 labs were open Wednesday. From learning about building iPhone apps to high-intensity ultrasound labs, and every type of robot in between, the laboratories were high-tech havens for students to check out. While nanotechnology might sound complex, some projects were designed to interest even the not-so-engineeringly inclined student. Matt Griffith is a master's student and was showing off an omnidirectional robot.
This project in general is kind of interesting because it combines some computer engineering, some software, writing code, with more theoretical electrical engineering and also hardware aspects too. So it brings them together, which is unique.
The school's student services promotes the event every semester on the engineering website and around campus, and with cookie and t-shirt incentives and the cool opportunity to get up close and personal with robots and the future of technology, Iowa State students and Ames residents alike flock to Coover Hall. For more information on Open Lab Nights around campus, visit engineering.iastate.edu. For iState News, I'm Chris Cuellar with David Durant.
The National Retail Federation, or NRF, has announced the result of their annual survey and say that this holiday season will show increases in spending. Iowa State business professors Laura Smarandescu and Tahira Hira agree with the results and say that sales and product quality will catch more buyers' attentions. Despite the state of the economy, shoppers this year are predicted to stray from more practical gifts and purchase big-ticket items such as jewelry.
Supporting diabetes research and education has never tasted so good. A campus sorority is holding a late-night breakfast tonight from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Alpha Grab a Donut is the name of the event, similar to the name of the sorority, Alpha Gamma Delta. The menu includes donuts, eggs, bacon, sausage, pancakes, French toast, and more. The cost is $5. Coming up after the break, Aaron Bauer joins us at the desk for a sports update.
Stay tuned right here to Newswatch 18.
Verde, 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 es tu hogar, es tu ambiente. La prueba de ratón, la salud la protege. Hazlo verde, verde, verde.
El vivir verde es asegurarse que el aire en su hogar es saludable para su familia. Asegúrese de hacer una prueba de radón en su hogar. Es fácil. Para saber más, llame al 866-528-3187. Proteja la salud y el bienestar de su familia. Haga la prueba de radón en su hogar. Eso es vivir de manera saludable y verde.
La prueba de ratón, la salud la protege. Hazlo verde, verde, verde.
La prueba de radón es fácil. Solo llame al 866-528-3187.
The Iowa State women's basketball team will open its season up this Saturday as they host Western Illinois. The Cyclones are a perfect 15-0 under Coach Bill Fenley in season openers and have won season openers by an average of 25 points. Lone senior Kelsey Bolte will lead Iowa State into the match on Saturday. Bolte was also named to the Naismith Trophy preseason watch list earlier this week. The Cyclones and Leathernecks are tipping off at 7 p.m. Saturday evening inside Hilton Coliseum. The Iowa State men's basketball coach Fred Hoiberg is no stranger to Hilton Coliseum. However, tomorrow night he will have a completely different role. Hoiberg will begin his coaching era here at Iowa State as the Cyclones host Northern Arizona. The Cyclones will have plenty of new faces on the court as only 3 players saw action last season. The Cyclones have won 12 straight season openers, and the last time the Cyclones lost was back in 1997 when Northern Iowa defeated Iowa State 54-48. Tip-off for the Hoiberg coaching era is scheduled for 7 p.m. tomorrow evening in Hilton. And the Iowa State football team will try to get back on the winning track Saturday afternoon. Iowa State will be traveling out to Boulder to battle the Colorado Buffaloes. Iowa State is still looking for its 6th win to become bowl eligible. And this will be the last conference meeting between the Buffs and Cyclones as Colorado joins the Pac-10 next season. Also, Colorado fired head coach Don Hawkins earlier this week after the fourth quarter debacle last weekend where Kansas scored 35 unanswered points. Iowa State will be led into action by senior Austin Arnaud, who has thrown for over 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns. Kickoff is scheduled for 12:30 Saturday afternoon in Boulder, and the game will be televised live on Fox College Sports.
Thanks for joining us for tonight's Newswatch. On behalf of all of us at ISU TV, we would like to wish a sincere thank you to all of our nation's veterans.
Have a great weekend and good luck to those Cyclones.